Moving to proficiency-based makes me think a lot harder about the way that I'm structuring what we're doing. So kind of working backwards, saying I want to get here with students, or I want students to be able to do this on their own. Like, how do I then go back and scaffold that for them to begin at a place where they don't shut down, that they can feel like I understand how we're working through this together. Students are in a unit for rhetorical analysis, which is a big part of the AP English work that we're doing this year. And we're in a sort of subunit where we're just focusing on tone. So being able to read a text and identify a tone, looking for specific indicators like diction, imagery, details, language, and syntax.
All right, make sure you're in the right table in your packet. You've each got a text in front of you. You've passed them out. And your 9 minutes to read this new text starts now.
So the learning target is, we're using the DIDLS technique, and it's an acronym for details, imagery, diction, language, and syntax. So looking at those key features when we're trying to identify tone in a text. So when you guys are providing your reasoning, we're looking at the DIDLS technique. What did you guys say is helping to create this satirical tone?
I said she is just using sarcasm to get her point across.
Using sarcasm, using diction. I'm looking for them to be using those vocabulary words that we've gone over, some tone words that we're trying to become more familiar with. I'm checking to see that they're making the decision about what tone exists in a passage, not based off of just a feeling that they have, but that they've got some evidence to back it up. It's a good reminder for me, and it's a good reminder for students of this is the skill that we're working on today, that what we're doing is over here on the right side with the agenda, but what that's helping us to get better at is over here on the learning target.
But at the end, he talks about, like, your God is not our God, your God loves your people and hates mine.
There's a real shift in
It
this.
seems like he shifts from, like, kind of forgiveness to anger.
Yeah, and there is definitely some anger at the end of this. I'm not even sure that it's forgiveness at the beginning. Like, what does he talk about that's changed for him and his tribe? Part of it is knowing where people are. Part of it is just giving them time to practice that, to be in class, to talk to others, to see their thinking, and to have that thinking kind of inform their own, and then to kind of grow in that different way. So not just on your own, do this on your own, get it right the first time, but being able to talk it out and say, oh, I saw this, I didn't see that because I was seeing this thing.
Outside of the classroom and just the school environment, it honestly just feels like the same as any other school, but inside the classroom, our teachers focus a lot on learning targets, and they basically let us know like which standards we're working towards, just so it's like a pretty focused curriculum. So really, if a student is driven and like dedicated to their work, they will be able to pass.
I've noticed since we've gone into a proficiency-based system, that students are much more comfortable saying, I don't get it yet, and they're willing to come back to an assignment and put in that work. There's like a cultural shift. Like the juniors that I have now have like grown up in proficiency-based education, so they're used to coming back to work and they're used to returning to assignments, and it's not that the first try is the last try. There's a group back in the corner that was struggling, so first what I do is kind of back them up and say, like, what are they talking about? What's the main focus of what you're reading? And then from there, asking them to kind of look at, okay, if that's the main idea they're trying to get across, how are they doing that? I think it helps me to think about like multiple opportunities to try stuff out and to practice things before I'm asking people to do it on demand. Whereas in the past it might have been a couple homeworks, a quiz, and then a test or something like that. I think it's really nice to have skills that I can point to with students, and instead of saying like, wow, you're a really bad quiz taker, I don't know what to do about that, you better try to take quizzes better. Instead of that, to say like, oh, we're struggling with writing, but your analysis skills are right where they should be. Writing is what we've got to work on, and I can see clearly, you know, when we do these types of writing assignments, you're struggling with reasoning, you get claims, you understand how to incorporate evidence, but we need to focus here. I think that the conversations I have with students now are so much better. The conversations I have with parents, if I have to call home, or if we have like parent-teacher conferences, they become a lot easier and more transparent because I can talk to them about the skills that we need to work on instead of like this type of assignment, we need to work on that.